Welcome. Good afternoon, Muskegon Rotary Club. I'm Dave Alexander and have the distinct pleasure and honor of being your president this year. And I guess I wanted to be a radio disc jockey and I just never knew it. All right, who was that, folks? And what was the song? Oh, a little more specific than that. Year, someone got? What year? That the year you got, Andy, you're right. 1972, and that was Rock and Roll Part 2, the instrumental version of Rock and Roll. And I guess there's words to it because, hey, that was some profound lyrics if you listen to the whole song. Okay. Today's program will be observations on Eastern Europe. We're looking forward to having Field Reichart speak to us. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a reflection by Brad Hastings. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brad?
All right, I've prepared a brief 30-minute speech. So actually, I struggled a little bit when I was trying to come up with something to say this afternoon, something relevant in my reflection. So there's a lot of noise and news happening in the world, and I think many of us, regardless of our political views, can feel a little bit overwhelmed with trying to keep track of our personal lives and keep track of what's happening in the world around us. I want to recognize and acknowledge that there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of division, and for many people, especially in marginalized communities, there may also be fear and frustration. And those feelings are real and valid, whether or not we fully understand them. At the same time, I want to encourage us all to be present right here, right now, in this room and with each other. Lately, I've been finding some peace and hope, turning my attention to look a little more locally. That isn't to say that Muskegon is without its challenges. We know there's a lot of work to do to make sure that all of our neighbors feel safe and supported. But I also see a lot of good work happening here. I see a lot of people who care, a lot of people who are trying, and a lot of people who very much want to do the right thing and are invested in their communities. So today, I invite you to take a breath, to be present for this meeting, and find some gratitude for the people who are in this room and the people of Muskegon, and to see each other as a source of hope. And I want to thank you all for being a bright spot in my week. And so enjoy your lunch and enjoy each other's company. Thanks.
Another future president going away there. See? Yeah, we just bring them up here and they get to audition for us. Return to your seats. Enjoy each other. Mingle a bit, and we'll be back to you in a bit. Thank you. Greg or Pat? Greg's over there, I think.
Michael, you ready? Mike? I just can't.
All right, let's pull back together if we can. Love the mingling. We would like to have visiting Rotarians and guests. Please come forward. Andrew has the mic and will get us up to the front of the room. If there is a visiting Rotarian at your table and you would like to introduce them, please bring them up. We want all of our visiting guests and visiting Rotarians.
Yep. We have
We
Emily
good?
Morgenstern to the front of the. You got to take the picture. Get up here. I tell you, it's good to have a daughter in Rotary, but they have to listen. Dennis, come on over here. My guest today is actually is going to be a member soon. Dennis Atkinson. Dennis is retired from Wayne State University. He now lives around the corner in Susan Crane's neighborhood, and actually Susan is sponsoring him. She couldn't be here today, but Dennis will be inducted soon as a new member.
I am proud to introduce my son, Corbin Collet. Corbin is from Kalamazoo. He's visiting me today, and he is an inventor, an engineer, and owner and CEO of a business called Blue Perspectives.
Good afternoon. Greg Borgman from,
No solicitation.
no, oh no, I won't do, I learned last week, ouch. Greg Borgman from Silver Lining Structures, no solicitation. Today I have with me, this is a little bit of, I'll make it short. This is Cameron Gowell from Clock Funeral Home. I went over there to have my brother's ashes interred. I was looking for an urn, and he helped me with that. It was interesting. I looked at him and I said, I thought he looks familiar. And when he told me his name, I said, you're Ken's son, aren't you? Yeah, he's Ken's son. He looks just like him. And he was very helpful in assisting me get through a struggled situation. But Cameron said he would like to find ways to better engage with Muskegon. And I said, you need to come and check out Rotary. So I'm really glad he's here. He's a very fine young man, and welcome, Cameron.
Hello, I have Morgan Whitmer with me once again, so I think this is now her third time, so she probably should look at joining. And she is the museum's new Office and Development Administrator.
Christy Pollack here, and my guest is Debbie Null. Debbie is the Executive Director for Muskegon Pregnancy Services, and Debbie is interested in joining our club.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mary Ann Gorman here, and I have the pleasure this afternoon of introducing a good friend, Drew Turwey, who is the manager of the Custom Home Division of Copper Rock Construction.
Hi, Bill Oxerman here. It's my pleasure to introduce Ivan Ivanov. I met Ivan 30-some years ago when he was one of the elite cadre of students known as peer recruiters at Muskegon Community College. And he had quite an illustrious career there, went on to Grand Valley. Now he's an electrical engineer living right in Mona Shores. He met his wife while at GVSU, and she's the pastor of Lake Harbor Methodist Church. I did that right? Said 2 kids that are college age that were active at Mona Shores. I believe his daughter was an Interact member. Yep. Okay. And what else? He's been recognized by Grand Valley a couple of times as an illustrious alum. And, you know, I just love being an educator, seeing people get great jobs and support Social Security as I age. Join me in welcoming Yvonne.
Too funny.
Hello, everyone. This is Kat Hyder from Catchmark Technologies. And of course, we have Karen Keklik here. She is not only a local business owner, but she's also a local JC and soon to be Rotarian. Brad mentioned having a source of hope. She's not only my friend, but she's a local source of hope for myself. So please introduce yourself. She will put a little sparkle in your day.
Hi, Kate Castellut Scarborough, and I have the pleasure of reintroducing you to my friend, Sean Jenkins. Sean Jenkins is the Director of Central and West Michigan Region for GVSU Omni. Sean earned her doctorate just recently, Dr. Jenkins. Her degree is from CMU. This past March, GVSU returned to Muskegon Community College, and you will find Sean and her staff located in the Stevenson Center. Currently, Sean is working with MCC to bring four-year degree programs back to Muskegon and to help enhance Muskegon County as a GVSU community partner. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you all, and welcome. If I could have Arlen Dean Gotti up at this point in time. Arlen? He is the remaining member of our board, has not been inducted yet. You've been traveling then, sir, right? Good to see you. The Muskegon Rotary Club members have elected you to an important position in club administration. Your election to office indicates your fellow Rotarians' confidence in all that you do. They also believe that you will uphold the high traditions of this club and that you'll give the best of your ability to Rotary. So in the induction, I will, since you're the only one up here this day. Will you fulfill responsibilities of your office to the best of your ability and by following the Constitution and bylaws of Muskegon Rotary Club?
I will.
I will, yeah. We're not getting married. Arlen, hereby declare you as a member of the board installed. Congratulations and thank you for serving on the Muskegon Rotary Board as I present you as the board member for 25-26. Members and guests, please give them your appreciation. My Muskegon Minute today is on the Milwaukee Clipper. It's been connected here in Muskegon, connecting Milwaukee and Muskegon as a luxury cruise liner from 1941 to 1970. After 20 years out of operation, it came and out of the Port of Muskegon, Clipper returned to the Grand Trunk Dock on Muskegon Lake and Lakeside. I, unfortunately, had an editor headline one of my stories in a 6 columns across the front page of the Muskegon Chronicle, referring to the ship as a rust bucket. And then my editorial page editor friend wrote an editorial saying it would be best used as a fishing reef a mile out into Lake Michigan. Times have changed. We don't have a newspaper anymore. And I wonder why. And a new generation of Great Lakes Clipper Preservation Association leadership is moving forward on plans to create a boatel. Read about that from our guest and prospective new member, Brock Johnson, and his team. And you'll read about that in a post in the last week on MLive, and I believe a couple of radio TV stations have picked it up. I'm sure that this topic will be a great program in the future. Speaking of programs, Nancy is in position, ready to go for our introduction of today's program.
Field Reichard is probably known to many of you. He was president of Reichard Incorporated for many years, a family-owned business in Grand Haven and Grand Rapids. Products sold were fine gifts, kitchen items, and most famously, specialty wines, foods, and coffees. Many of us attended wine classes hosted by Field. He has a BA from Colby College in Maine, where he lived for several years and was involved in Republican politics as a member of many state and local committees. After his return to Michigan, he became involved here in a variety of local and state organizations, including a stint as Chief of Staff to Michigan Senator John Swartz, at which time we became housemates for a while. In more recent years, he has continued his political activities, advising campaigns and serving on the Ottawa County Road Commission, Parks Commission, and the Windsor-Dick Board, and as a candidate for the Republican nomination for Congress. He has also been a board member of several local community organizations, including Reed Muskegon. Field has been a consultant to American and European organizations on U.S. and foreign markets, especially international aspects of food and wine industries. Pertinent to today, he was a member of the delegation of young Republican leaders to Hungary and Poland and has participated with teams visiting other countries. This is his third time as guest speaker at our Rotary Club. In 1981, he was a member of a local group study exchange program sponsored by our club. Please welcome our speaker and my longtime friend, Field Reichert.
So I've been told after Nancy that I have to lift the microphone a little bit. Before I start, I need to say a couple things. I know a number of you in this room, and I want to acknowledge two people who I believe are very, very special people, have been amazing citizens for this community, for the state of Michigan, and for West Michigan in general, and that's Nancy Crandall, who just introduced me, and Don. Would you all please stand up and would you all share with me some... They've done so much. I also see my friend Bob Skolnick back here. I don't see Melissa Moore, who was the head of Reed Muskegon. I was on that board for many years and was amazed at what she has done, and I just want to thank her, even though she's not here. I also want to comment on some general things. I have seen the changes in growth and attitude between Ottawa County and Muskegon County over the last 50 years. I am stunned by what you all have done in Muskegon. Look at your art museum. Look at your symphony orchestra. Look at the amazing changes that are happening at your airport right now. And if you're not using the air service at Muskegon Airport, you really need to do it. Look at the housing changes that are happening here. Look at your strength in your economy. Look at the strength of this Rotary Club. When I look out and I see the number of young people that belong to your club, you guys should be very, very proud. And I understand you have to make a reservation to come to these luncheons, and I appreciate the fact that many of you came to hear my dulcet tones today. But the strength of what you're doing here in this community is stunning, and we are, that line which Dave or somebody mentioned of the artificial line at the county line, that's breaking down dramatically. Thank you for making that happen. There's an old saying, when the United States sneezes, the rest of the world catches cold. Well, the diagnosis is worsening for some. Europeans bordering Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia are catching pneumonia. In late April, I spent 2 weeks visiting in Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, talking to political leaders, talking to journalists, talking to students, to determine what they felt about their relationship with Europe, what they felt about their relationship with the United States. And I came away both exhilarated and highly disturbed. exhilarated because the remarkable development of their democracies and their economies since I was last there in the late 1980s. I was actually an observer for the election in 1989 in Poland, where the communists were thrown out. And it's a long story, which I don't have time to go into, but I actually brought the message from the Polish government to the Western democracies at a Saturday night at about midnight meeting in Berlin with CIA agents, people from German intelligence, British intelligence, and French intelligence to let them know that the Polish government was going to accept the results of that election. But that's a whole nother story. But it was exhilarating to see the economic changes, to see the changes in democracy, to see the changes in people's attitudes. But deeply disturbing as all, with the exception of a young Latvian who mouthed Russian talking points, expressed fear for their future. Not concern, fear. In Poland, I talked with 14 individuals, all in positions of influence, as well as 20 students from the Warsaw School of Economics. They ranged from the mayor of Warsaw, Rafał Trzaskowski, who recently was defeated for Poland's presidency. And incidentally, Rafał has spent time in Muskegon. He came here in 2010 when I ran for Congress, and he helped me reach out to the Polish communities in Western Michigan. He's been here several times. I also met with the chief editor of the equivalent of the New York Times, Gazeta Wyborcza, in Warsaw. I was supposed to meet with him for a half an hour. We ended up talking for an hour and a half, which threw my schedule off for the rest of the day. I raised 3 issues with everybody. 1, concern about the U.S. commitment to Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, which requires all signatory countries to come to the aid of each other if one of them is attacked. 2nd, the effect of U.S. tariff policies on their businesses. And 3rd, the possibility that democratic countries in Europe can cobble together an effective military coalition in the event that NATO is designed to the dustbin of history. Issue number 1, while I was in Poland, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced that U.S. troops based in eastern Poland, providing logistical support to the military in Ukraine, would be redeployed to Western Poland and possibly to Hungary, away from the hot spots. As recently as March 6th of this year, President Trump threw fog on the requirement of the Article 6 of the NATO treaty, leaving smaller countries signers, wondering if America would come to their aid. Recently, his tune has changed. Let's hope it's consistent. That sometimes is a question. Recently, at the polls I spoke with in the last few weeks still do not trust America's direction. The United States has secured promises from other treaty signers to increase their defense spending to 5% of their gross national products. The U.S. currently spends about 3% of our GNP on defense. Poland already is at 5%. The other Baltic countries are all well over 3%. Poland, Lithuania, interestingly, all recently reinstituted the draft, which is great. The president's unclear support of NATO and his changing relationship with Vladimir Putin causes sleepless nights for many leaders. Number 2, tariffs. Our government's chaotic tariff policy is a huge problem for businesses. I think many businesses that are represented in this hall here today probably are going through some confusion. For example, Polish, Swedish, and Finnish manufacturers provide parts and technology to other European customers and also supply technically skilled products to our country. Business leaders are scratching their heads and have put expansion plans on hold. A representative of the important American Chamber of Commerce in Latvia told me we do not export much to the United States, but we sell to our neighbors in Finland, Sweden, and Poland. They have more to lose with high tariffs on direct sales to America, but we're seriously affected if their economies slow down. Issue 3, this was an interesting thing because I thought the answers would be different. Most people I met were concerned about NATO being replaced by a European force. I thought they would say, okay, we can do this. The main issues they had are, who will lead it? What happens if the AfD, which is a very far right party, becomes the ruling party in Germany? And the question is also that they had is whether or not they could ramp up a military structure on it besides NATO quickly, and many of them don't feel that they can. Until recently, North Central Europeans have considered the United States to be their best friend, but attitudes are deteriorating rapidly. A highly respected pollster from Poland, CBOS, this is fascinating, puts Polish citizen attitude changes into real focus. In April of 2023, 80% of Poles thought Polish-American relations were good. In April of 2025, 31% expressed the same sentiment. In April of 2023, 52% of Poles felt America's impact on the world was mainly positive. Now, 20% feel America's impact is mostly positive. When asked their emotions about Trump's presidency, 60% say their main emotion is anxiety. 19% are mainly indifferent. Only 14% express hope. One of my later interviews was with the CEO of the largest media company in Estonia, a country of only 1.3 million people. He told me with emphasis, I am 51% absolutely sure that the Russians are not going to invade Estonia. Well, your math is as good as mine. That means he's 49% sure that they are going to invade. But in case I'm wrong, my family and I have planned how they will quickly leave the country. I will stay with my staff to keep communicating with people here as long as I can. They do the internet service for the country. They have the daily newspaper, and Dave, it's 100% online. They do the radio, and they do a lot of magazines. Americans do not realize how crucial we as a country have been to the stability of the planet for 80 years. We are 4.22% of the population of this globe. That's it, 4.22%. We think we're the biggest thing in town. We are big, but we're not as big as we think we are. I urge all of you to think about the future. Think about the importance of a consistent, bipartisan foreign policy. Think about the importance of a consistent, bipartisan economic policy. Think about who we are choosing as new friends. And importantly, think about how these issues affect those around the world who have believed in our remarkable country. Thank you. And I would love to answer questions.
What can we as individuals do?
Vote early and vote often. No, as individuals, I think you need to communicate with your congressman. You have two members of Congress that represent Muskegon County, Congressman Molinar and Congresswoman Skolton. Congresswoman Skolton represents Northern Ottawa County. Incidentally, it's the first time we've had a Democrat representing Ottawa County since 1872, which is kind of an interesting thing. But communicate with them. You know, we all are thinking, oh, woe is me, we can't do anything. Noise makes a difference. And be aware. I mean, the stuff I brought out to you today, many of you probably haven't heard about. We have 80 years of building a positive relationship with many countries on this planet, and I'm afraid we're blowing it very badly. And we need to work together, Republicans, Democrats, old people, young people. We all need to work together. One of the most interesting things I did, I talked with 20 kids from the Warsaw School of Economics, and they were just amazing kids. And all of them expressed, we wanted past to study in the United States. They don't want to do it now. They're afraid of what will happen to them if they're in this country. We've created this image globally that is very, very disturbing.
Last question.
Is if we go through this phenomena that we're going through now and get on the other side of it, what is it going to take to rebuild our relationships with Eastern Europe and with all of Europe?
It's more than just Europe. It's the planet, and it's going to be having Americans aware of the fact that we are 4.22% of the population of the planet. We are also we used to be in 1990, we were 32% of gross production of the planet, 32%. We're now down to 15% of the gross production of the planet. We are not as big as we think we are. We're still big, still very important, and we have had a moral direction for many years, and I believe we as a society need to work together to restore that moral perspective. All right. One other thing, quick thing. I was really pleased to see the cruise ship in the harbor today. You guys are doing great stuff with that. And I also want to say how wonderful the addition to the art museum is. I have been now 4 times, and I crossed the county line to come to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Field. I said I wanted to be hyper-local. He is hyper-local. But what he provided us was an international view from West Michigan that I'm glad that we were able to hear. Field, speakers honorariums this year will be supplied by the Muskegon Rotary Club as a donation of supplies and materials used by our club members and youth from our Interact clubs as they take service trips to El Salvador and Honduras. And I thank you again for speaking. Michael, birthday slide. Greg Van Werkum on the 24th, Don Crandall on the 27th. We have 2 fine voices in the crowd who are going to start me off with happy birthday. Ladies, hit it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. For our birthday participants and all members, as birthday approaches, or maybe it was last month, who knows, please make a $10 donation if you are able to our birthday gift to our Caring Connections Fund by using the envelopes up here. There's also a scan, a QR code here, and is also in the rim. Our Rotary in action today is Susan Bestman. Mike?
Hi, I'm Susan Bestman, and I help out with the RIM Rotary in Motion newsletter. To be a Rotarian is to serve the community and to serve the world. There is no greater legacy than what you put out into the community and see that the changes that you can make as one person. Being a Rotarian means making a difference in the world. Jackie and I want to emphasize how grateful we are for our RIM team members and for all of the Rotarians that help get that information out to not only our club members, but as an outreach tool for our community as well. And we want to make sure people know how grateful we are for that. Being a Rotarian to me means serving my community and serving the world. I'm grateful for all the opportunities. I believe that other spotlight videos have highlighted the fact that we're reaching not only our cohorts, but also the younger generations all the way through older generations. And it just means a lot. And especially in my role as a RIM editor since 2020, I'm just honored to be part of that legacy that Bill Johansson and Muskegon Rotary has started with this newsletter.
Go to Rotary outside of Muskegon, and the RIM is one thing that not only in the district but throughout the country we are known for. And if you are a RIM team member, please stand right now. Thank you for your service. Kate, you have another introduction? You do not. You will, though, in the future? Okay, I hope so. Guest did not show, but, huh? Yeah, okay. There was a new reinduction of a member I thought we were going to do, but we'll do that later. Okay. There are no Paul Harris Fellow Awards. If you have an announcement, and I'm looking only for those from the Muskegon Rotary Club committees, events, please come forward at this time. We ask you to keep your remarks under 2 minutes. And a couple of those as they're coming up. There will be no Rotary Rewind meeting tonight. Rewind meets next Thursday, August 7th. The next one is Thursday, August 7th, 5:15 at the Core Plaza Vault. Please keep Club Coordinator Kim Boersma in your mind and hearts as she provides end-of-life care for a friend in her home with the assistance of Harbor Hospice. Per her email to members, Kim may have limited time for Rotary in the coming days and weeks. Thank you to all who have stepped up to help with Kim's duties during this time. Please note that President-elect Roger and I will be out of town for the meetings of August 7 and 14. Past President Tim, President nominee Lisa will be leading those meetings for me. In addition, our August 5th past President's Breakfast is canceled. It will resume as a group on September 2nd, Tuesday at 8 a.m. at Carmen's. The next club's board meeting is Tuesday, August 19th at noon at the Block. Melissa.
Thanks. I just have 2 quick dates for all of our new members to add to their calendar. So on behalf of the Engagement and Retention Committee, we are going to do a new member social on August 18th at 5 o'clock at the Vault. So just come have a drink and mingle and meet other new members. So this is for new members, their sponsors, or their navigators. And then we have a Coffee Connect for new members on September 5th, and that will be at the History and Science Museum, and it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
Andrew Cutler with the Party in the Park Committee. You may have seen my name in your email inbox. Please click on that. We are looking for volunteers for our Party in the Park, August 22nd. Put it on your calendars. We need volunteers. So it's a simple ask. Come help us pour beer, clean up. It's going to be fun. And we got a good band.
Good weather, too. We'll have good weather. Carla.
Hello, everybody. Carla Flanders here talking about Rotary Harvest Fest event. A few quick reminders. Tickets are now on sale. We have sold exactly 0 tickets. So I know it's way far in advance. It's not till October, but I want to make sure you have it in your calendars. So if you want to bring out your calendar right now, I will tell you the date that you can put in there is October 23. I see a few people bringing out your phones. Thank you. October 23. So think ahead. Please grab a ticket. We also are encouraging everybody to invite a guest that is a non-Rotarian. I think we had some really good examples today of us spreading the love to our community, and we want to invite those from our community to this event, as well as other Rotary members from other area locations, Spring Lake, Grand Haven, Grand Rapids. So there's that. The other thing is we are still continuing to seek sponsorship support. So thank you to those that have already supported. If you'd like more information, you can go to our website or you can email me directly, carla@cmfmarketing.org. All right. These funds go to the Baker College students as well as future Rotary projects. And then also, I wanted to say, when you're done volunteering for Parties in the Park, then you can volunteer for Harvest Fest. And the perk of volunteering is just feeling great about it. One. Number two, you do receive 2 discounted tickets. Now, this is something new, so I want to tell you about this. You can as a volunteer, we do ask that you pay for a ticket, but it's only $45, okay? Regular ticket prices are $85, so it's $45 for a ticket for volunteers, plus you get another discounted ticket. You get 2 discounted tickets. Here's the catch. That discounted ticket you have to use for a non-Rotarian member. So we're encouraging you to invite people from the community to come and join us at this event, okay? That's it for now. Thank you.
Harvest Fest is our largest fundraising event, and this woman makes it happen for us as a club. So thank you very much, Carla. And I will be encouraging you throughout the time to get the tickets and bring somebody with you. And I go to Rem and Jenny Sprague, who I think brought half of the Catholic Central folks that I know last year. And so find who or wherever they are at, bring them in, and let's have some good mingling time and some good fun, networking and raising money for our foundation and its duties and its opportunities to serve in this community. Raffle, Eric.
Three, eight, nine.
3, 8, 9. 3, 8, 9. 3, 8, 9. Everyone get them? Oh! Who is the switch at the sleep at the switch? Andrea. Four, 4, 8. All right. Back the room's doing well. Four, 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. Thank you all for participating, helping out Polio Plus, and we are doing very well there as a club, so we'll continue that effort throughout this year. Our program next week will be Kids Food Basket. Many of us volunteered with the Grand Rapids Club earlier this year, calendar year, in doing a day of service, a half day of service at their facilities in Grand Rapids. They have new facilities, a new story to tell here in Muskegon County, and we will hear from them next week. After the bell, I'm going to be playing Jackson Brown's Loadout Stay in background as we honor and appreciate those crew meeting members, Mike, Melissa, and Ed this week, along with all those from the Lake House who make our meetings so meaningful. So members, guests, please rise and we'll recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Let's unite for good. Enjoy your weekend. We are adjourned.